In ancient Chinese myths and legends, Kua Fu chasing the sun is a well-known story. Traditionally, this story is interpreted as a tragic story of Kua Fu desperately chasing the sun and eventually dying of physical exhaustion. This story is often seen as a symbol of courage, perseverance, and the pursuit of light. However, with more in-depth research into the ancient Chinese document The Classic of Mountains and Seas and new archaeological discoveries, a new interpretation gradually emerged, bringing new life to this ancient legend. In recent years, many experts at home and abroad have in-depth decoded the Book of Mountains and Seas, and through existing archaeological research results and analysis of the background of Kua Fu's battles with Huangdi and Chiyou, new perspectives have been discovered, revealing the myth of Kua Fu chasing the sun behind the story is an extremely tragic historical truth of defeat and escape. 1. The battle between Huangdi and Chiyou. According to the Book of Mountains and Seas, Zhu Rong is a descendant of Emperor Yan. Zhu Rong descended to live in the river and gave birth to Gong Gong. Gong Gong gave birth to later soil gave birth to Faith, and Faith gave birth to Kua Fu. According to the Book of Mountains and Seas, Overseas Northern Classic, Kua Fu chased the sun. When he entered the sun, he was thirsty and wanted to drink. He drank from the river and Wei. The river and Wei were insufficient. He drank from Dajin in the north. Before he arrived, he died of thirst and abandoned it. The staff turned into Deng Lin. Kua Fu's deeds are recorded 4 times in the Classic of Mountains and Seas. The records in the Great Wilderness Northern Classic are very similar to those recorded in the Overseas Northern Classic. It is obvious that they record the same story. The original text is as follows: Kua Fu did not know what he was capable of, and wanted to chase the scenery of the sun, so he caught him in the Yu Valley. He was about to drink from the river but there was not enough, and he was about to walk 2 days, but he died here before he arrived. Ying Long had killed Chiyou and Kua Fu. So we went to the south, so it rains more in the south. The battle between Huangdi and Chiyou is one of the most famous battles in ancient Chinese mythology. According to the Book of Mountains and Seas, Chiyou invited Feng Bo and Yu Master to spread a violent storm. Emperor Huang ordered the goddess Xi to descend to earth to stop the wind and rain. After Chiyou was defeated, Huang Emperor sent Ying Long to kill Chiyou. Chiyou's subordinate, Kua Fu, took advantage of the chaos to escape, and Huangdi sent Ying Long to chase Kua Fu. Kua Fu was about to walk through days and died when he was thirsty, but was killed by Ying Long. The battle between Huangdi and Chiyou is considered to be a symbol of the conflict between good and evil, civilization and barbarism. This war is not only a contest of strength, but also a microcosm of the union and division of tribes, cultural integration, and confrontation in ancient China. According to legend, the Yellow Emperor, also known as the Xian Yuan clan, was the leader of the ancient Chinese people. With his outstanding leadership and noble moral character, he united various tribes in the Yellow River Basin and was revered as one of the ancestors of the Chinese nation. Chiyou is the leader of the Zhuolai tribe. He is good at using metal weapons and masters the power of wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. He represents barbarism and war. The conflict between Huangdi and Chiyou stemmed from the competition for territory and resources, as well as fundamental differences in governance concepts. Chiyou provoked many wars in an attempt to conquer other tribes and rule the entire Central Plains region. In order to protect the safety of the tribal alliance and the stability of society, Huangdi decided to fight Chiyou to the death. This decisive battle was not only a confrontation of force, but also involved the mythological powers of both sides, such as the Yellow Emperor's mythical beast Ying Long, and Chiyou's Feng Bo, Yu Shi, and other gods. In this epic war, Kua Fu's role and status are quite special. Although the records of Kua Fu in the Classic of Mountains and Seas and other ancient books are not detailed, according to the speculation and interpretation of some scholars, Kua Fu may be a member of Chiyou's troops or the leader of Chiyou's tribe. In the battle with Huangdi, he was defeated and fled. Kua Fu's role changes from a tribal leader to a fugitive. His escape symbolizes the horror of war and the desire for a new life. The story of Kua Fu chasing the sun reflects the memory of ancient people after the war, a warrior's unyielding pursuit of light and hope after defeat, showing the tenacity and courage of mankind in the face of difficulties. Kua Fu is not only the leader of a tribe, but also refers to the ethnic group of a tribe. Kua Fu was defeated and fled towards the place where the sun shines. After Huangdi sent Yinglong to kill Chiyou, he hunted down Kua Fu and the Kua Fu tribe, who took advantage of the chaos to escape. As the leader, Kua Fu bravely blocked the pursuers and covered the Kua Fu tribe as they fled toward days. Kua Fu was exhausted and was killed by Yinglong. By decoding the battle between the Yellow Emperor and Chiyou in the Classic of Mountains and Seas and analyzing Kua Fu chasing the sun, we can have a deeper understanding of the cultural meaning and historical value behind this mythical story, and at the same time provide a basis for exploring Kua Fu chasing the sun. Stories provide new perspectives. 2. Kua Fu chasing the sun, the truth behind his defeat and escape. According to the myth of Kua Fu chasing the sun in the Book of Mountains and Seas, Kua Fu was determined to chase the sun. He started from the east and ran westward. He drank all the rivers he encountered on the way, but he still died of extreme thirst. On the way, his body turned into King Chiyou Mountain, and the discarded huge staff turned into a peach forest. This legend is usually interpreted as a symbol of perseverance, pursuit of light and hope. However, reinterpreting the story of Kua Fu chasing the sun from the perspective of defeat and escape adds a new dimension to the legend. If Kua Fu is regarded as a participant in the battle between Huangdi and Chiyou, his behavior of chasing the sun can be seen as an escape after defeat. Under this interpretation, Kua Fu's running is no longer just a symbol of the pursuit of light, but a desire for freedom, living space, and even a new life. Kua Fu's escape route, according to the description in the Classic of Mountains and Seas, was a long-distance run from east to west. Considering the geographical knowledge of ancient China, this may mean that Kua Fu traveled across the vast central plains, possibly passing through the Yellow River, Wehe River, and other places, and finally fled in the direction of the setting sun, the direction of the West Pole considered in ancient times. This route is not only long distance, but also full of difficulties and challenges. Kua Fu had to face the harsh natural environment, the threat of wild animals and the lack of resources. The depiction of Kua Fu dying of extreme thirst on the way may symbolize the extremely difficult conditions encountered during the escape. In ancient times, finding enough water was one of the most critical challenges on long journeys. The image of Kua Fu drinking the river dry shows his desire for survival and the tremendous efforts he made in his escape. Kua Fu is not only the leader of a tribe, but also refers to the ethnic group of a tribe. Kua Fu was defeated and fled towards the place where the sun shines. After Huangdi sent Yinglong to kill Chiyou, he hunted down Kua Fu and the Kua Fu tribe, who took advantage of the chaos to escape. As the leader, Kua Fu bravely blocked the pursuers and covered the Kua Fu tribe as they fled toward days. Kua Fu was exhausted and was killed by Yinglong. As the leader, Kua Fu's final escape failed, but protected the entire Kua Fu ethnic group escape success. It reflects the ancients' understanding of the cruel reality of the struggle between humans and nature, as well as their deep understanding of heroic tragedies. The truth about Kua Fu's escape in the story of chasing the sun provides us with a new perspective. This ancient myth reflects ancient peoples' profound understanding and imagination of war, escape and survival challenges. At the same time, this story also conveys the admiration for heroes and brave men who move forward courageously and never give up even in the face of desperate situations. By reinterpreting the story of Kua Fu chasing the sun, we can not only have a deeper understanding of the heroic concepts in ancient culture, but also feel the emotional power of the ancients' eternal pursuit of life and hope. 3. From Asia to America, Kua Fu ethnicity long journey. The hypothesis of the migration of the Kua Fu ethnic group from Asia to the Americas not only challenges our traditional understanding of the scope of ancient human activities, but also emphasizes the importance of studying ancient global human migration and cultural exchanges. This long journey spanning thousands of miles, whether by land or sea, demonstrated the amazing adaptability and exploration spirit of ancient humans. The migration route of the Kua Fu people can be theoretically divided into two main hypotheses, the land route hypothesis and the sea route hypothesis. Overland hypothesis. The oldest and most widely accepted theory is through the Bering Land Bridge, a land connection that emerged between northeastern Asia and northwest North America during the last glacial maximum due to falling sea levels. The feasibility of this route lies in the fact that the climatic conditions and general environment at that time prompted many animal and plant populations, as well as humans, to migrate to warmer areas in search of new living spaces. Sea route hypothesis. In recent years, some archaeologists and historians have begun to explore the sea migration routes that ancient humans may have adopted. This includes south along the east coast of Asia to Southeast Asia and then across the Pacific to the Americas. While this theory requires more archaeological evidence to support, it raises the possibility that ancient humans used early seafaring technology to migrate long distances. Evidence and theories of ancient human migration across oceans. Archaeological evidence. Throughout the Americas, especially in South and Central America, archaeologists have discovered many cultural and artistic features similar to ancient Asian civilizations, which provides indirect evidence for ancient human cross-ocean migration. For example, there are similarities between the giant stone statues of the Olmec civilization and artistic styles found in some Asian cultures. Genetic evidence. Through DNA analysis of modern people and ancient human remains, scientists can trace the migration paths of ancient people. Although genetic evidence directly linking the Kua Fu people to the Olmecs is not yet clear, genetic studies have shown genetic traces of ancient humans migrating from Asia to the Americas. Environmental and climate factors. Ancient climate changes, such as the end of the Ice Age, had a major impact on human migration patterns. As glaciers retreat and sea levels rise, former migration routes may be submerged, but this also provides conditions for ancient people to explore new routes. For the creation of the Olmec civilization, contact with the Kua Fu clan. The Olmec civilization is recognized as the earliest highly developed civilization in Mesoamerica, reaching its peak from about 1500 BC to 400 BC. The Olmecs established their society in what is today Mexico, especially in the states of Tabasco and Veracruz. This civilization is famous for its colossal stone statues, intricate jade artifacts, and complex religious and social structures. The artistic and architectural achievements of the Olmec civilization had a profound impact on subsequent Mesoamerican civilizations such as the Mayans and the Aztecs. The connection between the Kua Fu tribe and the Olmec civilization is mainly based on a new interpretation of the story of Kua Fu chasing the sun in the Book of Mountains and Seas and the study of the remains of the Olmec civilization. Some scholars have suggested that the Kua Fu tribe may be the predecessors of the Olmec civilization or at least contribute to it. This hypothesis is mainly based on the following points. Cultural similarities. There are striking similarities between certain artistic elements of the Olmec civilization and ancient Asian cultures. For example, the facial features on the Olmec giant stone statues have some similarities with the description of the Kua Fu tribe in the Book of Mountains and Seas. Myths and legends. Some religious beliefs and myths and legends of the Olmec civilization have potential connections with certain Asian traditions. Although direct evidence is lacking, This cross-cultural mythological similarity provides indirect support for a possible link between the two. Technology and craftsmanship. The Olmec's superb skills in stone carving and jade processing are similar to those in some areas of ancient Asia, which may point to ancient cultural exchanges and technological transmission paths. In the Olmec civilization, elements that may reflect the characteristics and traditions of the Kuafu tribe mainly include megalithic statues. One of the most famous Olmec monuments are the colossal human-headed statues, whose enigmatic faces may reflect the image of the Kuafu people. The statues illustrate complex social structures and deep religious beliefs, possibly related to the traditions the Kuafu brought with them during their escape. Jade and symbolic objects. Jade and other symbolic objects in the Olmec civilization show a high degree of technical achievement in design and production. These may be related to the craft traditions of the Kuafu people and reflect traces of ancient cross-cultural exchanges. Religion and mythology. The religious system and myths and legends of the Olmec civilization, especially the worship of the sun and the power of nature, may echo the theme of pursuing light and vitality in the story of Kuafu chasing the sunday. Civil engineering. The architectural remains of the Olmec civilization show sophisticated civil engineering techniques, including huge mounds and stone altars used for religious ceremonies. Similar civil engineering and architectural layouts are found in Asia, especially in the early civilizations of China, such as ancient buildings used for astronomical observations and religious activities. These commonalities may reflect similar ways of thinking in architectural design and urban planning among ancient civilizations. Hieroglyphs and oracle bones. The hieroglyphs of the Olmec civilization and the oracle bones of ancient China are both functionally early writing systems, used to record language and transmit information. Although the two are different in form, their existence proves the innovative ability of ancient civilizations in writing invention and language expression. This similarity in words and symbols may hint at commonalities in the way of thinking and communication methods of ancient cultures. Archaeological discoveries confirm the ubiquity and importance of cultural exchange in the ancient world. By studying the similarities and connections between the Olmec civilization and ancient Asian civilizations in terms of artistic styles, architectural techniques, writing and symbols, we can speculate that there may have been a more complex and extensive cross-cultural communication network in the ancient world. These exchanges are not limited to the level of material culture, but also involve interaction and influence in many aspects such as technical knowledge, religious beliefs, and social organizations. Future archaeological excavations and scientific and technological advances will reveal more evidence about ancient cross-cultural exchanges and help us gain a deeper understanding of the common development trajectories and mutual connections of human civilizations. These studies not only enrich our understanding of human history, but also promote understanding and respect between different cultures. 5. Kuafu chasing the sun. New perspective significance. This new interpretation of the story of Kuafu chasing the sun opens up a new perspective for us to understand the exchanges of ancient civilizations and the migration of human history. Traditionally, the story has been seen as a fable about courage and the pursuit of light, but modern research has proposed a more complex and in-depth explanation, seeing it as an escape after defeat and exchange between civilizations. A new perspective on the story of Kuafu chasing the sun. This new way of interpretation is not only a reinterpretation of ancient texts, but also a re-understanding of the common history of mankind. Viewing Kuafu's pursuit of the sun as a story of defeat and escape emphasizes the complexity of war, migration, and the development of civilization in ancient societies. It reminds us that exchanges and interactions between ancient civilizations may have been much more extensive than we previously realized, involving the exchange of culture, technology, and even genetic material. The importance of the story of Kuafu chasing the sun. The story of Kuafu chasing the sun occupies an important position in understanding the exchanges of ancient civilizations and the history of human migration. It not only shows the tenacity and creativity of individuals and groups in the face of difficulties, but also reflects how ancient humans adapted to the environment through migration and found new living spaces and opportunities. Additionally, the story may provide valuable clues into how ancient civilizations communicated through tangible and intangible cultural heritage. Future research directions: further verification and in-depth research on the new interpretation of the story of Kuafu chasing the sun will require interdisciplinary cooperation, including the joint efforts of experts in archaeology, history, anthropology, linguistics, and other fields. Future research directions may include archaeological excavations. Conduct additional archaeological excavations in Asia and the Americas to search for direct evidence of the migration routes of the Kuafu people, as well as material evidence of connections between the Olmec civilization and ancient Asian civilizations. Comparative cultural research. In-depth analysis of the similarities and differences between the Olmec civilization and ancient Asian civilizations in art, religion, social organization, etc., and exploring possible connections and communication paths between them. Technology application. Use advanced scientific and technological means, such as DNA analysis, isotope analysis, etc., to track the migration patterns and genetic relationships of ancient populations, providing new evidence for the connections between civilizations. This new interpretation of the story of Kuafu chasing the sun provides us with a unique perspective through which we can not only gain a deeper understanding of the complexity of the ancient world, but also gain a greater understanding of the processes of exchange and integration between different cultures. With the deepening of future research, we are expected to uncover more secrets about ancient civilization exchanges and human migration, adding a new chapter to the common history of mankind.